Part 1. What kinds of bills do you have to pay? I have to pay various kinds of bills every month, such as utility bills. Things like gas, heating, water, and electricity. Other bills include travel expenses, insurance, and my credit card bill because I pay for nearly everything with my credit card. Fortunately, I don't have to pay rent because I live with my parents. How do you usually pay your bills in cash or by another method? Like I said earlier, I use my credit card for nearly every purchase because it's much more convenient than cash. But I always make sure that I pay my balance in full every month. Otherwise, I could end up with months of debt. Have you ever forgotten to pay a bill? Why? Why not? Yes, 2 years ago I forgot to pay my electricity bill because at that time paying online wasn't available in my village. So my electricity was cut and I remember I had to go to the provider's office to pay the bill to get it back. Is there anything you could do to make your bills cheaper? Yes, there are a few different ways I could make my bills cheaper. I could reduce my travel expenses by taking public transport instead of driving to work. I could cut down my grocery bills by making a shopping list to avoid impulse buying and planning meals to make the most use of what I have bought. Part 2. Describe a book that you enjoyed reading because you had to think a lot. You should say what this book was, why you decided to read it, what reading this book made you think about, and explain why you enjoyed reading the book. I'm going to talk about a book that really made me think and that has had a positive effect on my life. The name of the book is Atomic Habits, and it's about a compounding effect that small decisions and minuscule changes can have on people's lives. I decided to read Atomic Habits after seeing an interview with the book's author, James Clear, who is a world-renowned expert in the field of habit formation. In the interview, he told inspiring stories and revealed some simple life hacks that can make people more productive, motivated, and happy. I found the whole idea of the science of tiny habits fascinating, and so I bought the book straight away. While reading the book, I was forced to confront my own habits and behaviors. I realized that I'm nowhere near as productive as I could be, but that some small tweaks to my routine could make me significant and long-lasting difference. The book also gave me a framework to understand how good habits are formed and how bad habits can be broken. It has encouraged me to analyze my own habits accordingly. I thoroughly enjoyed reading Atomic Habits because I thought it was well researched, well reasoned, and well written. The author's ideas and advice aren't simply his opinions, they are taken from cutting edge research and real success stories. I enjoy reading books that change my way of thinking in some way or give me practical, life alerting ideas, and this was definitely one of those books. Part 3. Are there any options when reading at speed is a useful skill? Personally, if I'm reading something interesting, I don't like reading too quickly because I feel that I don't properly absorb the information. However, it can be useful to skim through things when you don't really want to read them or when you just need to find one particular piece of information. For example, I read at speed when I'm checking a household bill or letter from the bank. Are there any jobs where people need to read aloud? What are they? Well, researchers obviously need to read aloud. I suppose that politicians, journalists, and other professionals who need to know about current affairs read aloud too. Having said that, I think most workers read hundreds of emails every week. In my previous jobs, for example, I had to check internal staff email at least twice a day. Do you think that reading novels is more interesting than reading fiction books? Why that? Both types of books can be equally interesting in my opinion. A good novel can transport you to another world, where the characters in the book become almost real. On the other hand, fiction books can give you fascinating insights into anything from psychology to ancient history.